Hello YouTubers and fellow vintage radio enthusiasts. The radio for this video is a B&K Dynascan Corporation Cobra CAM88. This is a tube type radio. It's a 23 channel crystal controlled, all tube. Transceiver, these were made from about the mid-60s. I think 1971 was last year. This is not a rare radio. These are actually fairly easy to come by. I see them come up on eBay quite often. Of course, most of the time, people that are selling them, either don't have a power cord, or even if they do, have no clue how to test the radio. The one I'm showing you here, I bought, I think summer of last year, if I remember right. Maybe spring, I'm not 100% sure, but it was sold as working, and the gentleman was not kidding. It came with I'm not showing it in the video, it did come with this non-powered D104. It's just a D104 head. Might have to give it a little time to focus. Just a D104 head on a non-powered mic stand. Probably mic stand, probably not two-way radio. It was probably studio or something and been adapted. That's just my guess. Somebody added a flip switch for the PTT, and that switch is going bad. I tend to not use this mic anymore because it chirps the receive extremely badly, going from TX back to receive mode. And I don't have a low enough profile switch to put in there to replace that one. I've cleaned it a number of times, and at first it was helping it, but as time went on, it just got to the point nothing's helping it. I got it on just channel 22. It's approaching 7 o'clock in the evening here, Central Time. A little bit of DX, although the stations I was listening to I'm not hearing. So let me see if I can. There's channel 20. Sound like maybe, well, it was sound like it was a little more active. Channel 15 there. I really like these radios a lot. I have two of them. This is the first one I got. This radio's all stock, no mods. The only thing it's ever had done is a couple tubes replaced, and it's live. A good number of them are still the originals. This uses a 4-pin Amphenol plug. And those plugs, for those that don't know, look like this. They're a large 4-pin male. Haven't been made in a long time and tend to be pretty expensive if you find them online and the person knows what they've got. Has a large, the large phones jack, fine tunes, variable receive clarifier, front fire speakers. Speakers do sound really good in these. Volume and the main power on and off. Squelch, and this is another one of those radios that has the standby position, so if I put it in standby, it's only running some of the voltages and not all of them. I know it runs heater voltages, and it's even keeping the meter lit up. Don't know if it's running full voltage to the heaters or not. I think it is on this radio, but I can't swear to it. Anyways, the idea was in this mode, it's not consuming as much power, and if you turn your main power on, leave it in standby for a while, it'll be ready instant on. I never really understood it a lot, but it's a feature some tube radios have got. CBPA. This radio has a modulation light. As you can see, it works. Dynaboost is a mic gain / compressor. Sorry about that, I'm going to turn that down, it's a little loud. It's mic compression plus mic preamp. If you're running a non-powered mic, it's definitely best to have it on. It sounds a lot better that way. Got much stronger audio, really sounds crisper that way, in my opinion. Pretty standard SRF meter that a lot of these tube radios had. There is another model of these that was called a Cobra CAM88. It looks like this, other than it's all black. It has a few more features than the 88. The 98 I know had an SWR bridge incorporated, and I believe one other feature that these 88s don't have, and I don't remember what the other feature was. Other than that, they're the same radio. The 98 wasn't made for near as long. They are a lot harder to find. I think they were only made about 2 years. or this radio had a pretty long production span, so they're not hard to come by in this day and age. Let's see if I think this is showing up. It's a tube radio. Turn out the extra light. Maybe, well, actually, I think it was better with it on. As you can see, this radio it's really in immaculate condition considering its age. Very, very little in the way of markings or anything. It's got some scratches around the channel selector knob, like somebody had a ring on that used to operate it. A few other scratches on the face, a little discoloring on the faceplate bezel, and that's about it. This radio is pretty immaculate otherwise. It is B&K, it's a division of Dynascan. Like I already showed, the odd microphone I'm using. A lot of times, till I find a switch to replace that, I've been using, I know it doesn't look pretty, but I've been using this old Turner 350 high Z. It's a high impedance, so it's ideal for these tube type radios. Really made for them, actually. It's got a ceramic element, and I can't remember if this came wired 4-pin or if I had to put the 4-pin connector on it. It doesn't really look like my solder works, so I'm going to assume it probably came on the radio already, or on the microphone already. It's very stained, not in the best of shape, but this mic actually sounds pretty good though, and it's probably as old, if not a little older, than the radio itself. These radios, good performers. I mean, output's about typical, typical tube radio. On my ground plane, it's showing about 10 watts peak. I think, if I remember right on my ground plane, I think it does more on the lower end of the band. I'm down on channel 5. No, about the same. It's about 3.5 to 10. That may be the nature of the beast. I haven't run this one in a while. I kind of thought it did a few more watts than that, but no, even on the beam it is, and I don't have my dummy load on the switch box. I need a switch box with an extra position. That's kind of an issue. I'm always having to disconnect my Omni to run the dummy load. It's just something I've never got around to acquire. Well, actually, I take that back. I do have a 3-position switch box. Never got around to swapping it out, I guess would be a proper way of putting it. Anyways, I really like the performance of these radios. They have pretty decent receive. The quality of the receive as far as audio, they sound great. On TX, I get a lot of compliments, even with the non-powered DM104 seems to sound a little better than the Turner 350. It kind of depends on who I talk to. I kind of get some different opinions on that. Either way, I get compliments on how good this old rig really does sound on the air. It's got that, what people tend to call that tube audio, that kind of warm, nice warm, clean sound to it. Anyhow, I think that pretty much concludes this video. I think on the back of the radio it's just I think it's just an S meter, 0 for whenever you're on and got if you got it on a dummy load or the antenna disconnected, you can zero it out. That's a common feature with tube radios. I think there's probably an external speaker jack back there, and that's about it. Not a lot going on with these. They're a pretty simple radio, but I feel like they're a pretty good performer. One of my favorites of the old tube rigs, really. The thing I like is prices are still not, ridiculously high on these, and I kind of hope it stays that way. It's nice to have some decent performing tube radios. Don't cost a person a fortune to acquire. Anyhow, I think that does it for this video. I've rattled on too long as it is. 73s everybody, 262. Operator Paul signing off for now.